Hey there, this is Chrissy. I wanted to show you a couple of these custom GPTs. They're awesome. I don't know any other way to say it. They are awesome. They are mind-blowing once you can, see what these things can do and how it can save you time in your business. If you're not using them, I'm just going to say it. This is the future. This is what people are going to be doing. So if you're not using them, your competition's going to be, and they're going to be more productive. They're going to get more stuff done, and you're going to be left in the dust a little bit. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's the truth. This is what people are going to be using in their business, and I want to show you how awesome they are. If you are someone like me that has tried to outsource and never had good results really with outsourcing, this is going to be life changing for you because you're going to be able to, start giving your custom GPTs a bunch of the tasks that are on your plate. And I'm not saying that it's going to, do everything, um, but it's going to do a lot of the work. And so, maybe it does 80% of the work and you do 20% of the work, right? That's still going to free up so much time for you to do other things in your business. It's amazing. So I have my blog copywriter custom GPT open right now. I have um, now I've already built this. I've already given it the instructions. I've already given it the knowledge files, and that's important. And I go over this in my course on how to do this, and I teach you, what information you need to give the custom GPT to make it work because you're giving it instructions in a knowledge file, and that's the magic sauce of it. That's what helps it know what to say, and it makes it sound like you. Okay, so I've already uploaded all that. I've already created the custom GPT. I've already told it what it needs to do, and I've already given it the background knowledge. Um, and if you're interested in learning how to create these, like I said, I have a course that goes through that. But once I've created that, I'm here and I'm going to ask it to create a blog post. And let's say that I want it to be about starting a WordPress website. Now, I am using a business example because I talk about business, and in the knowledge files that I've given it is business information. So if I asked it to create a blog post on um, starting a program to train for a marathon, it would be lost because it's a custom GPT. It's been trained for my business and I've given it knowledge files on business stuff. If I asked it to create a blog post about, like I said, training for a marathon, it would be like, what are you talking about, girl? But I'm going to ask it for a blog post on starting a WordPress website. So I'm just going to type that in. Okay, so hi there. I'd like your help in writing a blog post about starting a WordPress website. We're going to see what it says. We're going to see what it does. So it's telling me thanks for sharing your brand book. It gives incredible insight into your audience and tone. It's giving me some title options, how to start a WordPress website even if tech makes you want to cry. Want a website that works for you? Start here. Building your first WordPress website. Here's the non-techie way to do it. No more website shame. How to finally launch a WordPress site fast and simple. And then it talks about without the overwhelm. So those are some pretty good options. And then the blog post. Let's be honest, you've probably Googled how to start a WordPress website more times than you care to admit, and somehow you still don't have one you love. Either it feels too techy, too expensive, or too overwhelming to even begin. Sound familiar? You're not lazy, you're not behind, you're just busy running a business and trying to build something meaningful without getting lost in plugin land. That if you don't use WordPress, that is a little inside joke because WordPress has plugins. So this post is your go-to zero fluff step-by-step guide to launching a WordPress website that looks good, works hard, and doesn't take over your life. This is pretty good. Um, I might take out some of this stuff, but mostly this sounds like me. I like how it says, either it feels too techy, too expensive, or too overwhelming to even begin, because I get that. That is how a lot of people feel when they're starting their website. People, I know that feeling. I felt that way when I was starting, and I've had other people tell me the same thing. So yes, that is spot on. Um, you know, the whole this post is your go-to zero fluff step-by-step guide to launching a WordPress website that looks good, works hard, and doesn't take over your life. I don't know. I may or may not leave that. I can take that or leave that. But that's the thing. This is going to get you most of the way there. It's still going to help me write something in a lot less time than if I was sitting there writing it all myself. And so you're still going to want to look this over. Um, so I'm not gonna sit here and edit this whole thing. Um, Astra. I actually use Astra, so I would put that in there as a recommendation. I personally would remove Divi because I don't like the Divi builder. Um, you know, so yes, I might actually put in more information about Astra. But that's what I'm saying. It's going to do a lot of the work. It's not going to do all the work, but it's going to do a lot of the work. I might, so I do use Elementor. So again, I might add more information about Elementor. I don't personally use WooCommerce. I recommend ThriveCart. So again, you're just, changing a few things, putting your spin on it. um, you know, the recommended plugins it gives. Um, yeah, I think these are actually really good options, to put in there. Again, I might expand on it. It talks about ConvertKit, which is now known as Kit. I might put my affiliate link in there because that's what I use, so you can, add in affiliate links. But you get the point. Like, it's really doing a bunch of the work up front. So yeah, that is how magical that is. Let's talk about the landing page, Custom GPT. Okay, so here we are in the landing page specialist, Custom GPT. And again, I've already given it instructions. I've already given it my knowledge files. So I'm going to ask it to create, we talked about WordPress in the last example. So let's say um, that I am going to create a 5-day challenge on getting your WordPress website started. And then that blog that we just wrote, I can use to promote the challenge. I can link to the landing page that this custom GPT is going to create. And then I can have my other custom GPTs create the social media and the emails and all that stuff. See how it all flows together? Okay, so let's ask it to create. So I always try to be polite to the custom GPTs. I don't know, or Chat GPT in general. So I'm going to say, hi there, I'd like your help in creating a short opt-in page for a free 5-day challenge that walks people through setting up a WordPress website. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so it says thanks for the details and the brand guide that I've already created or uploaded, and it's saying that it's going to create a landing page for a free 5-day WordPress website challenge that feels approachable, empowering, and totally aligned with your values. Wonderful. The headline, build your WordPress website in just 5 days without the tech headaches. And then heading. If you've been stuck Googling tutorials or putting off your site because tech overwhelms you, this challenge is your simple step-by-step path to finally getting it done. No stress, no fluff, no coding required. That's pretty good. I might not say path. I might say this is your step-by-step guide to finally getting it done. Um, I do like the no stress, the no fluff, the no coding required. Um, it says it's giving a friendly intro with a Chrissy style tone. Thank you very much. So let's be real, you've got a business to grow, but building a website has felt more like a roadblock than a win. You know, having a professional site matters for credibility, for sales, for finally being able to send people somewhere besides your Instagram bio. But every time you try to start, you hit a wall, plugins, themes, hosting. What's even the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? That's really good for a first round, right? Like those are things that people think, when they are first starting a website, what is the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? I know that I have answered that question many times. And I do tell people, and I've said it in blog posts and different things that, you can't just send people to an Instagram bio. You need a website. You need a place to collect leads and to show people, who you are and all that stuff. So I have literally said these things. So that's awesome. I'm liking it so far. Now, um, I did not tell it what the days of the challenge are yet. Like I mean I'm doing this off the cuff. Like I thought of it in my head and I put it in there. If I had already planned out like what's gonna happen on day one, day two, day three, like I could have told it that when I was, putting in that initial prompt. It decided, to do it for me. So I might want to edit this stuff. You know, let's say that I was creating um, a actual course on setting up a WordPress website and I was doing this as a teaser. I might not give out all of this information. I might have, day one being, talking about a domain and hosting, and then I might talk about installing WordPress, and then I might talk a little bit about picking a theme, but I'm not necessarily going to go into designing the pages because that might be something that I cover in my actual course. I might talk about writing a good homepage, but I'm not going to go into all the other pages because that might be in the course. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't tell it any of that. This is just what it's giving me, and it's pretty good. Um, but yeah, it goes on, and it has, the challenge is perfect for you if you've been putting off your website because it feels too complicated. You tried DIYing it, but you got stuck halfway through. You're ready to start attracting clients, subscribers, or buyers, and you need a home base online. I've literally said you need a home base because I have uploaded all of these knowledge files and I've trained it on who I am and my business. And this is the first round stuff that it gives. If you go to regular Chat GPT and you ask it, for a blog or a landing page, it brings up stuff like master. It loves the word mastery, right? The, you know, WordPress mastery. Like that's what it would give me. I don't use that language, but it's giving me here the language that I use because I've trained this thing and it's a custom GPT. Like that is how awesome and amazing these things are. It'll blow your mind. Um, you might see a 5-day WordPress challenge in the near future, and I'll be taking a bunch of this stuff right here that it's giving me because it's good, right? It is good. Um, So yeah, that is the amazingness of these custom GPTs, and it's going to save you so much time and energy in your business. Um, you're going to be able to start getting more stuff done, and if it gives you 80% of the work and you just have to do 20%, like that is life changing. That is business changing, life changing stuff right there. And so, if you want to learn more, you need to join my course. I can teach you how to do this. You can start implementing this stuff right away. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to blow your mind, my friend. It is going to blow your mind and save you so much time and energy.